Good morning everyone. I've just filled the second to last row, which is that one there of the young herd, and then there's one row outside, or there's probably 3/4 of a row there. So I'm going to leave right now and go and get the second herd, and they're nice and close. They're only just there in paddock 9A. It's actually not a bad morning. It's on the chilly side, but pretty nice, and it's not raining, which is awesome. Need to open that first though. That's where Dad's cows will go until mine come in. Good morning girls, time to go to work. I don't think I'll even have to ride in the paddock. They should all just come out. Most of them are here at the gateway. It's about 6:30 at the moment. You can see how light it is. Like, this is awesome. It's definitely noticeable getting lighter at night and in the mornings. I'm not sure when daylight saving is, but I think today is the 28th, 29th of August. So we've only got a couple of days left, and then we are into September, which means officially I think we're into spring, which will be nice because it feels like we've been in winter for so long. But after I put that last video up where we got about 30 mils of rain come through in a big front, it has been fine since. So it's given everything a good chance to dry out. We're still getting quite cool nighttime temperatures, so once that starts to rise, then we'll start to grow some good grass. But like this morning, like, it is a bit cool out here. There was a little bit of a frost on the bottom stuff down there. It wasn't very heavy. It's probably not there now. It might just be a heavy dew, but it did look a little bit icy. It's a nice cow. That one there, number 274. He looks black and white, but I'd say she'll have a bit of Ayrshire in her somewhere down the line. I bought these calves up yesterday and they actually came up pretty well. They just followed the feeder. Their paddock down the bottom was getting a little bit stale and old. So I've brought them up to these calf paddocks. There's 1, 2, 3, and then there's 4 over there, and 5 because I can use that one. So they'll sort of just get cycled through there and get a new paddock every second day. Come on up again. A couple of videos ago I had that cow with really bad mastitis, and this is her care. So she has been treated. She's come off her withholding period, and her milk has gone back into the vat. However, the treatment didn't work, and this is her front left quarter where the mastitis was, and you can see it's all yucky. Look at that. So what I'm doing with that is I'm just leaving that quarter blind and only milking the 3/4. She's pretty much just drying that quarter off now. It's just gone really hard. It never went soft again, but she will be a 3/4 cow from now on, and she is an older girl, so she will be a cull cow at some point in the season. It's a little bit unfortunate, but that's just how it is. You always sort of get cases like that. Do you know what's really annoying though is that when I'd bought the cows in before, the sun was sort of just coming up and it was coming over the clouds, but it's really overcast and there's no heat coming through, and it's actually cooled down, which sucks. I was saying on the radio before that tomorrow or overnight tonight it is getting down to -2, and if it gets down to that, we'll be getting another frost. However, on the plus side, these girls are actually milking pretty well. I'm pretty happy with how they are going. Look at this nice girl, nice compact udder. Beautiful teats on her. I'm not sure what number she is. She must be a young cow though. And season to date, we're actually about 20% ahead of last season. So when they send us the milk results, they always compare it to the year before, or our previous season. But I was actually having a look through historically, and it's looking like we're probably going to have our best August ever. So our best August up until now, milk production wise, was 2 seasons ago, and it looks like we're actually going to beat that substantially. So it is pretty good. It's just a little bit unfortunate that the milk price is down, but there's something in correlation between milk price and how your season goes. I'm not sure why that is, but usually when you have a good one, the price drops, and when you have a bad one, the price is usually good. I don't know why. It's almost like Murphy's Law. 4 in the last row. I'm just waiting for this one here to milk out, and then I can whack the cups over. I was just thinking though, I do show you a lot of good udders, Like those are all pretty nice, but I don't show you the bad ones. So this one here, this is cow number 82. Sorry, it's a little bit dark. And see, it's just quite low. I know it has been milked out, and it's probably on, it was on the list. I was thinking about culling her last year, but she had like an AB calf, and she has been historically quite a good cow, so I thought she deserved to stick around one more year. But that is sort of an udder that is getting a little bit low for my liking. The cups do sort of sit on the concrete now. Just seeing if I could see a year on her tag, but it's faded too much. I'll have a look on Minder. I reckon she must be at least sort of 8 or 9. 82. She was 13 born, so that makes her 10, which would make her 11 next season. So yeah, she's probably getting past it, but she's for the last 10 or 8 years, 8 milking seasons, she's done well, and like I said, she deserved to stick around for one more, but yeah, she probably will be on the list this year too. I did keep her around too because she had pretty good figures. Like I said, AI calf, and she's actually bred a couple of other quite nice cows which are still on the milking herd, so there's just a couple of reasons that I thought she deserved to have another year. That gives you a pretty good idea. See how droopy it is? Girls got a big walk today though. They are heading over to Bucks, or we call B2, which is the furthest paddock right over in the corner there. Take them a little while to walk up there. Way easier when they all find it to themselves, like the other lot. There we go. It's actually not too bad now. I'm just in my overalls and it's fine, but there's 2 pens of calves still down here in the shed. There's 12 calves in each pen, which is perfect because they fit around the feeder nicely. And to be honest, I'm just going to keep them down here as long as possible. Like, it's easy feeding them in the shed here. The sawdust is still really clean, like the pens are looking good. If it was getting dirty in there, I would put them on grass, but they're fine the way they are, just feeding them milk. There's meal down there. There's also some opti calf, which is like a binder, I think, and there's water in there. So they are pretty sweet. I just need to sort out a bit of like a hay rack for them so they can pick at that. But apart from that, they're doing pretty well. While I'm down the bottom, it's a good chance to come and shut these girls in. They've all made it here. Otherwise, some of these new cows that have freshly calved, they'll start walking back. Yesterday, one made it back almost to the cow shed, and then I had to walk it all the way back to this paddock because this is where they were. So it took me half an hour, and it's just half an hour that not that I don't have, but just it's a waste of time. And it's a good chance to take Nell for a run too. On to the next lot now. That's the last of the calves to feed. It's always a little bit of a mission getting out the gate now, but this paddock's not too bad. It's better than some of the others. I've given the feed a bit of a clean. I'm just going to head over and catch up with Dad. He's over at the calving cows now. He's actually shifted them, so we're going to help him draft any fresh ones that have calved out. We're actually doing pretty well on the calving front. We hit the 6-week mark yesterday since our planned start of mating, and we've got about 10% of the herd left to calve, which is pretty good, I think. I'm pretty happy with that. Well, there's a few calves in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is another good day. It's a real good day. So there's one there. She looks like she's calved. Oh yeah, that one over there, that broken coloured one by the hedge, number 54. That's great. We've been getting real constant days, which helps. There were 33 yesterday, plus this 4 will be 29. So we're into the 20s now. The end is in sight. You can go over there, that's alright. Is it that one? No. That one, she's calved. So she's just a little bit slabby through there, like a little bit hollow. So she'll be the last one that we're looking for. Into the corner you go. It's 3 and 54. She's over there now. Come on. There's actually 5 cows here now, because that black one there, she hasn't actually calved, but she's been a pain. She always wants to run out with the other ones, and she's actually empty, so she can just go with the milking cows, and I'll book her in to go to the works. Come on, you. Come on. Oh, hopefully she'll follow. See these marks on the back of this one, like there, up here, and there? That's just classic marks of getting ridden, which means they are cycling. I was having a little look on Minor, and she's actually due in 13 days. She hasn't sprung up at all, so you would say that she is empty. Dad was a little bit unsure. He didn't think she was because she's a little bit too round, like she wasn't sort of skinny enough. And I was just having a little look on the collars through the True Test app, and it hasn't actually picked up any heats in the last, well, since it was pregnancy checked back in February. It's had health issues. 3, 4, 5.
Which one? 3, 2, 3.
Every 21 days it's had a health issue, which would be a heat. Yeah, so it will be empty. That, yeah. So it hasn't picked up a heat directly, but those health issues are pretty much 21 days apart, which is a cycle. So yeah, there you go, empty. Book her in. We've got a bit of an audience here today. So Holly, my wife, who's just there, she works in town at a daycare, early childhood centre, maybe it's called, and these guys have come out to have a little look and see what happens on the farm. You're not from a farm, are you?
Yeah, look at that jacket.
Yeah, you got a jacket on, yeah, but you don't live on a farm, do you? But you like having milk on your wheat bix. Yeah, so this is where it comes from. They're off having a look at the calves. They always love the calves. See you, Onyx. Bye. 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 He's actually Mike the Builder's grandson, so small world. But it is cool getting them out here because we do live in a rural town here in Te Aumuru. Like, everyone's got a sort of connection to the farmers somehow, but a lot of them don't get out on farms, so it is cool. That is what they're called, the juniors, so I think they're under 3-year-old. And it is cool getting them out here. They love going and running around with the calves and the chickens. And like this morning, I don't always show them cows getting milk, but it sort of just worked out this morning that when they're arriving, I was milking the colostrums. And it's just cool sort of connecting with them and seeing sort of what happens on farm. Dad actually, he collected the eggs, but he went and sort of scattered a few round in the nest boxes, and they went and found them, and they loved it. Like, it's awesome seeing it. Come in for a bit of breakfast, but it's pretty much lunchtime because it's nearly 12 o'clock. And this is just the previous season, and it's by month. This is milk solids, and I was just having a little look through just to make sure I was saying the right stuff. But this was our record. Well, it wasn't a record season because it went real dry, but we had a really good start to the season, and the best we did for the last 5 years was we sent 8,174 solids in August, and it is the 28th today. I think I said it was the 29th before, but it's 28th, so we've got 4 more pickups and we're at 7,400 solids. And if we do what we're currently doing, which we should get to 9,100. So that'll be 1,000 more milk solids better than our best season, and it's almost 1,500 more than this month last year. That's actually awesome. So I'm pretty happy about that, and I was actually sort of underestimating it as well. I went off yesterday's sort of production or daily production, and we're actually sort of increasing a little bit every day, so we could probably do more than what I said. But yeah, that is pretty cool to see. So obviously just the condition of the cows is making a difference. I don't think we're milking any more, maybe a couple more than this time last year. I think they have calved down just maybe a little bit quicker at the moment. But in general, like, yeah, I'm stoked. It's awesome. But we've also broken another record for the farm, and it's not just in the last 5 years, it's in the last 30 years. This graph is the somatic cell count, and this line here, that is where our average is for this month. And you can see, like, it is well down on the previous seasons, on the previous 5 seasons. It's at the moment, for August, it's sitting at 95,000, which is exceptionally low for us. The lowest we had got was 137, was what the first year I was home. So it's well down on that. This is what I was meaning about the record. This is the daily pickups, and cell count is in this column. That's last season. But it got down to 56,000, that's pretty low.
You got it right.
Yeah, have you ever...
Never been that low before.
Never been that low in what, the last 30 years?
Oh, the last 30 years, only when the Fonterra forgot to put a 1 at the front of it. one time, I think.
So it's pretty, like, it has been going pretty good. Like, it's pretty impressive.
Yep,
we've dropped
yeah,
it.
Yep,
we've dropped it a heap. And I guess it's just from the dry cow, like the dry cow's work that's lowered those.
No, probably the heat, the heifers with the teat seal as well, I think.
Yeah,
it's not dry cow, but
no, it's not dry cow, but I think the dry cow's helping. It's fixing those cows with the high somatic cell counts. So then the following season they're dropped. Like, we'll be able to go through and have a look and see which ones it worked on. But I think that's working. Yeah, the teat seal, I think that's working. Like, we're not getting mastitis in the heifers. In the last 2 years we might have had 2 cases.
Yep, it's pretty good, definitely.
Yep, and it just means more milk's going in the vat. So the cows are milking pretty well.
Yeah. And look at this, Richard gave me 2 flounder. Yummy.
Nice. Didn't fillet them for you.
No, but you put them in the pan like that.
Oh, dear.
Well, he said he fillets them, gets 4 fillets out of each fish, but no, you whack them in the pan like that and turn them over once you've eaten one side.
It's just gone and picked up the meat. We got a couple of heifers done a couple of weeks ago, just a couple of empty heifers. It's all, what is it, meat and sausages?
Yeah, there's no steaks, it's all fillet.
Mince and sausages.
No, it's all fillet steak.
Oh yeah, here's a couple of steak. So I didn't get any cuts done, just all sausages, mince, and just the what? Just fillet steak that you got.
Like porterhouse, it's all in fillets.
Yeah. Yeah, which is one chunk.
Yep.
Vacuum packed.
Yep, there's an eye fillet, porterhouse steak.
Yum. Don't know if I can fit it all in the freezer though. Check this out though. This is the paddock opposite my house, and it is actually one of Darcy's. But he strip sprayed this last week, and you can sort of see brown lines through it now, so the rows are starting to appear. Might be a little bit hard to see on the camera, but they are there. That means planting season isn't far away. We usually try and get our maize in on about the 10th of October, plus or minus about a week. Usually would rather go later than earlier week, but however, so that's still over a month away. But for the next time I graze off these maize paddocks, we'll send the strip till, not the strip till, but the strip sprayer in and start spraying lines, because they need to be done about a month to 6 weeks before we plant. That means that there's a big pile of hedge just over there. We need to burn that and move it so that the sprayer can get through it. I'm a little bit unsure as of the paddocks we are going to do. I've got them pretty much sorted, but this is sort of one of them, and there is a L-shaped fence up there that we need to rip out. I think we're going to rip it out anyway. I'm going to rip one of them out. I'm just wondering whether I rip the other one going that way out. And I was sort of planning on putting this paddock into maize as well, because it's a little bit tired. It needs new grass, but there's a bit of a gut that sort of runs up here, which we won't be able to plant. So I'm wondering whether I sort of stay on the top side of it that way, and then I just fence it off at the top there and use this little bit here for the cows, because it's nice and handy to the shed. I can get a night grazing in there. But that's something to think about. I've got a little while yet. I actually have no idea why I just said that. I don't have a lot of time at all, to be honest. Cows are coming in here tonight, and then they'll probably go into that maize block, followed by the strip sprayer a week later. So I don't have actually that long to think about it, but I am going to strip spray everything this year, and then I've got the option when it comes to October to plant, whether I can go strip till or direct drill. And I'll probably strip till the paddocks that were in maize last year, and then maybe direct drill these so I can put them in maybe a perennial at the end. I'm not sure. Yeah, like I said, I can decide that a little bit later on. But I've actually got a little bit of a busy week. We are dehorning calves tomorrow. The vets are coming out. It's usually a good video. I usually say that the vets are putting them all to sleep and everyone thinks I'm killing my calves, and they watch. Maybe I'll try it again this year and see how it goes, but those videos generally do pretty well. Wednesday, heading down to Mike the Builder's, picking something up home, taking the tractor down to get it. So I'll explain that in that video, because that's going to be a little bit interesting. And I still need to put a little bit of sustain on. I have done most of the farm. There's just 2 bags left to go, and I need to get a pasture walk in too. So that usually takes me like 4 hours, so, or 3.5 to 4 hours. So a little bit pushed for time this week, but cows are here, so I am going to head off home. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up like always, and apart from that, see you next time.